One.
Absolute Batman seems like it's going to be about the battle between Croc and Batman, but it is very much not. It is a book that, if you are interested in the Absolute Universe, you absolutely need to read, and we are going to have a lot to say about this and many other books here today on Pals Pulls. Thank you guys for being here. This is a two-man show. It's just me and Marco.
Celsius! Duo. Dynamically.
Yes, exactly. Marco, the screen's looking a little fucked. I don't
Yeah,
know if you
yeah,
can
I'm,
see that.
I'm fixing it.
Here is so it's a two-man show. We've got 6 books on tap for today. I'm gonna run through those for you guys. We've got Absolute Batman number 12. That's what's on the tin. Batman Dark Patterns number 10. We are in the final arc. One World Under Doom number 7. Captain America number 3. Ultimate Incursion 4. And the finale of Transformers. Well, I should say the finale of the Daniel Warren Johnson era on Transformers. Transformers number 24. Chat seems to say that I am low audio wise.
Mm.
Uh, so you take care of that. Thank you for being here, whether you guys are live or in the future. Smash the like button if you enjoy what we do. Near and Matt Fisher already contributing to the super chat agenda here on the channel. Near with the 199. Sup, pals? I am cat sitting. How is life, y'all? Well, near life could be a lot better, you know, you know, but I hope things are going well for you. Matt Fisher with the 499. What's up with One World under Norman's mask? I love it when this actually is about a comic for the week. Yeah, we are going to talk exactly about what is up with One World Under Doom. And that should be a very interesting conversation, to say the least. All right, let's tap into Absolute Batman number 12. Scott Snyder, Nick Dragotta, Frank Martin. You guys know the creative team, Clayton Cowles. So, where we left things off with the last issue, it actually sort of seemed like there might be, like, it could, maybe they could fight, or Batman and Croc could team up. It was very much left in that kind of space.
In the
And
air.
um there is a little bit of a battle, but it's mostly about Croc, Waylon Jones, a childhood friend of Bruce, not wanting to be what he has become. He's turned into a monster. Bruce is able to return home now that he has finally escaped from Arc M, or wherever the hell it was that Bane had him at, and it's been a little while. And in his return, we are, you guys know the show is full of spoilers. There's no way around this. So if you don't want to hear what happened in this issue, you gotta mute us for a while or
Lug
whatever,
out.
because there's no way to talk about this issue without spoilers. It's revealed that while Bruce was MIA, what we saw in the last issue of Bane going for Bruce's friends, that was real, as we said on this show last time. And what Bane did to those people is he destroyed them. He annihilated them physically. Harvey, Edward Nigma, and Oswald Cobblepot. All of them annihilated. This is their villain origin story. This is how they get, and I shouldn't say villain necessarily, but this is how they get closer to how we know them from the comics. Oz is deformed completely. Harvey's face is fucked. Half his face, half his body. And Riddler, Edward Nigma, he's like partially machine or something, and his brain is damaged. So Bane broke them. And this is now how we get them closer to how we know of them in mainline. Marco, specifically, um, how did you feel about that shift.
I felt it was kind of gross the extent to which we got to each of these characters. I felt like I just felt bad, kind of overall. I didn't expect or know what to expect. Similarly, because of the cover, I kind of thought, oh, we're gonna get the big fight, and that'll just kind of be what it is. But as we get further into it, um, it really becomes a story about how these characters get transformed into the monsters that maybe we know them as in a different sort of capacity, and how that's supposed to lead back and affect Bruce. So it just felt brutal. I felt bad for Bruce, for his friends who, for all intents and purposes, seem to be just nice people. Making it by in Gotham City. That's what the book's been about as it relates to the individuals that are there. So yeah, I thought it was a strong issue, but I didn't expect this brutality.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people talking about the level of brutality and uh feeling that it's too over the top. Um I don't I don't agree with that. I think that, well, I mean, everyone's entitled to feel how they feel. I feel that, um, it didn't bother me. It
Yeah.
didn't bother me. Yeah, this is a heavy book. There's a lot of heavy stuff going on, and it's intense. But I am okay with that because it feels like that's what this world is. That's what this Gotham is. It's violent in a brutal way. And yeah, it's disgusting. Like that panel of Penguin deformed like that. It's hard to look at. It's gruesome stuff. But as an issue, I thought this was a really strong issue, even though I have significant problems with it. Primarily that I don't think I like this. The fact that Bane beat them all into their villain not personas, but
Yeah, I know what you mean. I get what you mean. Like it's it's like because of Bane that we got these creations. He's making them who they are. Almost like my mind went to Scooby Doo Monsters Unleashed. Like the big bad is just kind of transforming these guys into these monstrosities. So I hear that. It and I think it relates back to what you're saying on uh this is the dark side world, right? This is meant to be grim and dark and disgusting, and fueled by this dark energy. So that part I definitely connected with, but I see your point on like, I don't know if this was necessarily the way to get them to that point.
yeah, like it doesn't feel. I'm wanting to use the word organic. I recognize
Mm,
that, it's a story, so it's being crafted. But, they don't get to arrive at the place that they're going to get at in interesting and different ways. They're so tied together that now even their potential villain origin is tied together, and that's just a lot of cohesion. It's arguably too much cohesion. It does make Bane come across as, as big of a bad as Snyder is trying to make him out to be. There's
yeah,
no doubt about it. I mean, he destroys these guys.
100%. And I think that's very much like I think that's smart from his end. Is I can kind of see maybe, and I'm assuming, but I can kind of see some of the wheel spinning of make him the big bad. He's gonna get retribution for all this stuff, and then he has to individually kind of deal and reconcile with each of his friends and what they've become moving forward. So I can kind of see like how he's stretching this. I feel like I'm making the assumption, but I think that's where we're going. And you know what? Honestly, that can work story wise, but I similarly I didn't feel like it was the most organic way to get there.
Yeah, and it just feels like we've been living with these characters for such a small period of time. I mean, we're only 12 issues in, which is
Yeah.
not a lot of comics. and they're not that prominently featured to begin with. So we've arrived at a point in which every single one of them has now been transformed. And I like the tether that, this is because of Batman. This is because Bruce has decided to go all the way with Batman. It feels like the point of no return in any given, story, and his friends have suffered the consequence of him being unwilling to turn away from his quest. I I'm with that.
Mm.
I just feel like, all right, so Wayland suffers here, and then maybe Bane also beats Penguin into this, version of himself. But the fact that it was all of them
Yeah.
is just a lot.
Yeah. All at once.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. I think that the one that I didn't see kind of how we get out of it is the penguin one. It's like he's gonna be 2 feet. He's gonna be 2 feet smaller than he is because he broke his bones. Like there, I kind of don't see where we're getting the this villainous arc. Like what degree are we getting each of these characters kind of anger back at Bruce? I think to your point, we haven't lived long enough with them to feel that emotional connection. It's gonna feel like he's gonna say, "Oh, Wayland's gonna be upset," and maybe they're doing Wayland first, and that's where they've been doing the backstory, right? So try to get you to get to that point and feel that thing. But for something like Penguin, I haven't quite felt that. Same for Riddler. Like I don't yet connect with them emotionally to feel bad, and then for when they get better or become whatever they're gonna become, don't feel like they have the same kind of axe to grind.
It's just not earned
Yes.
in my eyes.
Yep.
It's not earned. I'm not going to care about about these characters. Like I watched it, I read the comic and I saw it unfolding, and it was brutal and gruesome, but I didn't feel bad. Like
Yeah.
I didn't emotionally invest or connect with what happened to them because I don't know them.
Yep.
And I think this is one of the few times where I think the absolute universe is leaning too hard on what we already know about these characters from mainline rather than building upon itself. Because the fact that they all get beaten down in ways that will turn them into the characters we know, and it all happens so quickly, it just feels microwavy to me. And so it's executed well. I just don't like it as a turn, and it doesn't feel earned to me.
I'd argue it's not executed well because
Okay.
it's microwaved. Like I think there's a way to get to these points differently that gives more breathing room for all of it for us to kind of live with the moment. Because I felt going through this just overwhelmed with one scene into the next scene into the next scene, and you're supposed to feel that, right? I think that's what Scott wants to get across, but I don't think it came across in the way that he might have wanted to. It just came across as busy.
Yeah, I get that. To me, the craft of this individual issue, the especially the artwork from Jagoda, like it all works and lands.
Mm,
Um, and I do, like I said, I do think this is a good issue. I like the beat where Bruce goes home and his mom, she
yes.
slaps him. We forget that she's traumatized. Her husband didn't come home, and her son was gone for a month. So that's crazy. I like that. That felt right. That felt like a good moment.
Uh,
Bruce and go ahead.
sorry, just on that page as well where she's back. Small touch, small moment, but Dragoda does it so well. The slap, you can feel the wind up of it. I just wanted to shout that out because great panel, great page.
Yeah, yeah. Bruce and Alfred making the decision, like, we're gonna go and we're gonna get this guy. Like, it is what it is. Like, we got to fight. Um, I like it. The stakes are high, and then at the very end, we get our first glimpse of absolute Selena Kyle in full Catwoman garb.
Mm-hmm.
She got a dome.
She got that dome on her, bro.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Honestly, the tail was cool. I don't know what that's about. It's not a whip because it's like tactile. It moves.
What if it's in some way like connected to her spinal cord,
Ooh,
like Doc Ock, like he's got that stuff in his spinal cord, his
yeah,
around his neck. Yeah,
I could see that. Yeah, gross.
I'm into that.
Same.
I think she looks kind of interesting. I want to see more of her, which obviously we're about to get. So, great. Um, there's a lot. There's a lot here. There really is. I think this series is tremendous. I'm just worried about this turn. I don't
Mm,
want these characters to just become villains, and it's not a guarantee that that's going to happen. They could very easily not, but I don't want to see that happen because my hope is that we can have, like Batman with friends is a genuinely sort of different concept.
yeah,
In mainline, yes, he has the Robins, but they're not his friends.
it's coworkers.
Yeah, coworkers and also children.
Right, right.
So the idea that he had friends and could have people that could be relied upon is something that meaningfully separates this version of Batman from mainline. And to strip him of all that so quickly to where the only friend he still has is the exact same friend he has in mainline, which is Catwoman, is like, come on, Scott.
Realistically, Alfred, right? Because who knows what Selena's gone through in this intermittent time.
Well, Alfred's dead in mainline, but it seems as
Sure.
though Catwoman is probably going to be an ally here. And if that is the case, she's the only person that he has, and we already get that all the time in mainline.
Right, right. I see that. Yeah. Um, I don't know what else they could do if they're not villains, frankly. So I think we're heading that way anyway. But uh, I'll have to see how it's executed. I think the weakest turn was probably Two Face, in my opinion. Um, Penguin's disgusting. And then the Riddler, I kind of like the design, so I'm interested to see what that's about. I only just noticed as I was flipping back through the pages the question mark that's like ingrained in his brain and shit. Uh,
Yeah.
but we'll see how it's executed. I want to give Scott a chance here. I think he can do something cool, and if the first one, whatever the next one is after Waylon, isn't great, then I'll have my doubts.
Dude, you bring up the Two Face one. Everyone knows Two Face is my favorite Batman villain. This was so disappointing to me
Mm.
because if you really like look at the framing of this scene and the dialogue, it so reminded me of the Dark Knight.
Mm.
It so reminded me of when Jim Gordon goes to speak with Harvey and he tells him a story about how Harvey had a name, um around, people would call him,
Oh
I
yeah.
forget what the name was, but it was to the effect they would call him Two Face. What am I saying? They would call him Harvey Two Face, and it was because he was going to betray them because he was a DA, right? So it's the same concept here that he's destined to be a traitor because your friends, they're all outlaws, and you with your principles, your ambitions, those eyes, you stick with those losers, they'll bring you down hard. It's so similar. It's not the exact same line, but it's so similar. And the fact that he ends up telling him that Flash was right, it's just like, nah, come on, man. You're baking all of that into this moment. It's not earned because we didn't know about it before.
You're just bringing Flash up. You're just bringing these dichotomies up. Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't play for me. That doesn't play for me. So I was very disappointed by that.
Yeah. Of these, was there one that you thought, oh, that was pretty cool?
Penguin.
Oh, okay.
The fact that he got beaten into disfigurement, like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm pretty lukewarm on these though. I think this issue was still really good to me. I still pull, um, but that is the first decision in the absolute universe, and I'm just like, nah, I'm not into it. Across all the books,
Steve Trevor.
even him, like him being there is okay. I don't want him to be the love interest, and I don't care about that character, but he's got to be involved. But this is just like you could have. I feel like it could have been done so much more interestingly.
Yeah.
Um, I'm just really let down.
On that point, I agree 100%. We could have done something different here.
Yeah, but
Still,
I do. Yeah,
yeah, still good. I still pull.
yeah. We're both pulls on this. The audience agrees. 62% of you pull. 25% pick of the week. Didn't buy or read is 8%. 4% pass. So by and large, overwhelmingly, you guys are feeling this. And by the way, every book we review, we always put up a poll. So make sure you vote in it. It's here. Only the live chat can get involved in it. So make sure that you cast your vote. Speaking of the live chat, let's see what they're saying. Let's see what they're talking about.
What you got?
CW Gordon says, I like the idea of the tension among the group, but would have liked to actually see more of that than be told.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally agree.
Just needed more time with these guys.
Yeah, didn't cook enough. MD Johnny, what's up, dude? Says Two Face's origin was a bit underwhelming. Oswald reveal had me. Yeah, that was crazy.
Mm.
Oswald was disgusting.
With Martha was great. Monster design. I think a few people here saying similarly, just needed more time. Near says, I honestly wish we got more time with Bruce supporting cast, like his mom and his buddies.
Yeah, 100%. This book needs to utilize those people more. They are the most different part of this book. Everything else feels pretty, Batman-y. But the fact that he's got his mother instead of his dad, that's a big shift. She should be more around.
Yeah.
Where's Barbara Gordon at? Again, with these friends, I feel like those things should be more in the focus.
Especially if you want to have some sort of tragedy happen around them, you need that.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Aaron Ruiz says, now that you're talking, it kind of feels like the current Ultimate Universe where the world tries to fix itself, quote unquote. Yes, where it almost
Oh,
feels like we're being pulled toward what we're used to, and that's a bizarre feeling.
it's like correcting for it.
Yeah.
There was one here, Banksy made. I wonder what happened between Selena and Bruce. Their past seems like it shouldn't fit in this story. I keep feeling like we get more and more revealed and more over time reveals that they were a couple and that like here they're looking for an apartment together. They seem to have been in love. I'm curious as to what ultimately we get with their connection, if it's just that, because I am curious to see what separates them. Why do they go their separate ways, especially if they've been over these 12 issues, they've been kind of building their relationship up in the background. Like, what is the tragedy that kind of befalls them? I am curious about that.
Oh yeah, I'm very curious about that too, and I hope that. I mean, I don't think I even need to hope. It seems like that is imminently going to be told,
Yeah.
so I'm looking forward to that. Lucas, dude, you'd never have to apologize, bro. He says, sorry, pals. Had to drop my Patreon membership due to financial reasons. Going to keep my channel membership, though. That is completely fine, dude. There is no prerequisite to being in this community other than being cool, respectful, and loving comics. So, we love that you're here, dude. You've been a tremendous contributor without considering any of the money that you've spent. So thank
Mm-hmm.
you so much. Let's see. It is September. We are in Justice League month around these parts.
Hey.
Justice League International won the poll. We'll be announcing on Saturday the books that we're going to read, like the actual issues that we're going to read for that. It's looking like it's probably going to be the first 12. But maybe we'll do more. We typically do more, so we'll probably do a little more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Marco, You've never read that, right?
No, I've gotten it recommended so much though.
All right.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'm pumped for it because of that. Because I've had so many people be like, "You'd probably like JLI." Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Entertain me. I don't think we've seen Absolute Barbara and Bruce interact, but my supposition, just through syntax, is that they likely know each other because Martha
Right,
knows Jim.
right.
So that relationship hasn't been explored in the book, but I have every reason to think that they probably interacted, just
At
not on the
least
page.
at some like last point, just off page. Yeah, off
Exactly.
panel.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You guys know we'll be live Saturday at 10:15 a.m. Eastern. We're going to talk about there. Look, there's been a lot going on in comics this week. Everybody's heard about the Red Hood cancellation.
Oh
We're
yeah.
not going to talk about that in depth today, but Saturday we will. So if you have thoughts about that that are related strictly to the book and the cancellation and the why, not the outside stuff, not the the bigger context, that is a conversation we will be having on Saturday. So prepare for that.
I heard about it. That's how much controversy there was about it.
There's a lot. There's a lot there. Um, let's shift gears and get into Batman Dark Patterns number 10. This is the final case, the beginning of the fourth case, the Child of Fire. Dan Waters, Hayden Sherman, Triona Farrell on the colors, Frank Vekovic on the letters. I've said that creative team for 10 issues straight. We all know.
Hell yeah, consistent.
Yeah, I love it, right? So this issue doesn't feature Batman. Batman is not in this comic.
But
Gotham very much is. The I mean, Gotham is burning, and someone has been inspired to set fires in Gotham and to do it in a very creepy mask and get up. That's gonna haunt me.
that page turn was cool, man.
Yeah, and so we get a lot of Jim Gordon in this issue. Why did I say Batman's not here? Batman's here a little bit, isn't he?
Yeah, he's at the end. He's in
Yeah, yeah.
costume. Yeah, yeah.
He's at the very end. Excuse me for that. He's at the very, very end. But yeah, this is primarily Jim Gordon stuff. Bruce is still recovering from the last arc and what happened there. And there's no rest for the weary, though, because there is another case to solve. And again, this one involves people and locations being set on fire. There's a lot going on in this book. Marco, did this live up to your expectations for Dark Patterns?
Man, this was so good. I love this series. At work, we just had a new starter, and they were like, "Oh, I read comics." I'm like, "Let me tell you what you should be picking up because this is top of the list. Number 10 is coming out. I'm pumped. This absolutely met expectations. I feel like Waters and Sherman can do no wrong. At this point, they've earned my trust 100% when it comes to this world that they've built for themselves. The art continues to be impeccable. I think the page with all the fire, if you have it up, Sean, it's like the second or third page.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
It's just it. Sherman is thinking in layers. I can imagine as a digital artist, you think about what layer goes on top of what layer goes on top of what layer. Yeah, man. There just is such goodness to it that there's a graphic design element almost. And so I'm sitting there just kind of like, oh, look at this page. Look at this. Oh my God, I took a step back and actually this is the flame of whatever. Oh, I take a step back. Actually, this is the angle of the ransom note or whatever it is that Gordon pulls up. And so there's so much design work that goes into this. I get blown away every time. Um,
Well,
yeah.
let's hang around on that for a second because if you think about this page, right,
Hmm.
it's really one, two, three, four, five panels.
Yep. Yep.
Um, and anyone can figure out how to showcase someone lighting a match with the gasoline and setting a room on fire. That's a common thing you could see in a comic book. Hayden takes that concept and makes it into a page that I have never really seen before. you could easily represent this in a basic way. Hayden isn't just won't do that. And I love them for it because this is a gorgeous page. Look at all the
Yeah,
detail inside of those panels. That's not easy to do at all.
phenomenal, absolutely
And the
phenomenal.
color work there too is impeccable.
Oh, the way it's just like a flame, right? It's blue at the base. It gets orangey and yellow as it expands out. Oh man,
Unreal. If this isn't the kind of thing that makes you lose your mind as a fan of art and comics, I mean, I don't know what else you're reading that's better than this visually. This is insanity. Um, I really, really enjoyed this issue.
yeah.
You know, the page we just talked about caught me right away, but there's so much more here. I like the way that this issue's sort of tackling the idea of legacy
Mm,
and someone taking up a mantle because Firefly is in prison, but Gotham is still burning. And so it appears as though someone has been inspired by him to do this, to do these arsons. And we don't know all the details yet, but I love that that is being dealt with here.
mm. It's an interesting concept, especially for a city like Gotham. There's mention of this one fire, and then the next fire, and then the next fire, and I think I was trying to make the connection between that and Batman, if if possible. And it feels like it's the next wave of, it's mentioned in the book as well, cleansing. You're kind of cleaning the slate. Flame is representative of destruction as much as it is birth, and so the the fact that this person has it in their psychopathy, that I'm gonna burn Gotham down and it's gonna be reborn as this amazing place. I think there's a level of lunacy there, but I'm sure for Bruce, if it could be burned down, would it come back better? Would he come back better? Is he coming back from all these cases that he just had? Is he coming back and doing better? Has he learned?
That I think that's a great point. And I also read it sort of, Batman is a firefighter. He's always putting out fires. He's
Mm,
always going from fire to fire, putting these fires out. If the villains and things that are going on in Gotham can be represented by that the idea of that fire, um, dude, this page here was another one that I really
yeah.
loved. It's just that the Batman costume burning. It reminded me of like a scarecrow or something like that, an effigy. Um, and Gordon's peril there, trying to put that fire out and nearly dying. With if it wasn't for Batman, Gordon dies. And
Yep.
then my favorite panel, my favorite individual panels on that next page, and it's very simple. It's
Yes.
this. It's the shard of glass as a panel on the page. Come on. Come on.
100%. There's something about the way that Aiden draws Batman, especially in this scene. It feels a little Tim Sale, like
Sure.
the very much drawing from that, but putting their own spin on it as it relates to communicating via those panels. And you're right, the shard of glasses, the shard of glass, be it the again that newspaper page, whatever it was. And there was another one, the bodies, where it's like that dream sequence, and the bodies are layered on and kind of grabbing each other. And I was trying to figure out. I'm like, okay, what do you draw first? Do you draw a regular square and then you kind of like crop images on top of that? Do you layer the design? Like, surely you don't just first put a sequence of arms or of a body and neck and then draw in between that, right? Like,
We're talking about this, right?
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
where do you even start with that kind of stuff? Where does the shadow start? Where does the shadow end? The panel border, like, uh, again, just breaking my brain.
That's the kind of thing where, like, if we could have just Hayden Sherman on the show to talk about their work, those are the kinds of things. Like, okay, explain this page right here. Like, what was the
Yeah.
thought process, stem to stern? How did you do this? So we got to make that happen. Maybe we can get Hayden on here.
Somebody at them because I've been I've been emailing.
Chris Coleman with the £5. Thank you, Chris. My tradesman regret for dark patterns is real. In NYC for the week and loving being live with the pals tonight. Hey, Chris, that's awesome. Where in New York are you staying, and how are you enjoying the city? I hope you enjoy your time here, dude.
Welcome.
Welcome. Yes. Um, yeah, I mean, it's getting to the point with dark patterns where I almost feel like we should just stop reviewing it, because what else? What can we say that we haven't said? It's brilliant. There's no one else we're going to sell on it. You already know how good it is. Go get it.
If
Or if you're a tradesman like Chris, then pre-order it because it's coming and you don't want to miss out.
Yeah, if you've tuned into any episode that involves it, like we're just singing its praises, and you know what? I love that.
Sure. And I'll tell you this, I never anymore buy collected editions for series that I already read. I don't really do that
Mm,
anymore. I will absolutely get this
I'm double dipping. Yep.
100%.
Yeah. This is one of those that if I don't have it, I'm giving it away for Christmas.
Yeah, I need the hardcover. I need
Yeah.
it bad.
Yeah.
I need it bad. All 12 issues in one spot. I need it bad. Easy pull, not my pick of the week.
Agreed. Easy pull, not pick of the week. I think I know what yours is.
You do? Huh. I think I know what yours is. I
Oh,
mean, I better know, because if yours is not what I'm thinking, well, we'll see.
we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Let's see what the audience thinks about Batman Dark Patterns number 10. And by the way, hit the like button if you're enjoying the show so far. If you're not subscribed, it would be really great if you could subscribe to the channel. It's free and it helps us out a lot. Trying to get to 6K. Hopefully we can do that before the end of the year. 52% of you say pull. Didn't buy or read, 35%. I chalk that up to the tradesmen. Pick of the week, 11%. No passes. That's good.
0%. The didn't buy, didn't read is going to split out evenly into pull and pick of the week.
Yeah, I agree. No one. How could you read this and pass?
Incredible. Yeah, Near says I have to binge read this on DCU 100%.
You know what? I would do it, but I would also say near. Um, if you've waited this long and you're waiting for physical, like you fuck with physical, get the hardcover. Splurge. Or tell Mrs. Near that you want it as a birthday gift or Christmas or whenever the hell it comes out, because you need to have it. You need to see Hayden's art in your hands. It's
Yeah.
not the same.
Yeah.
You gotta have it. Wow, 3620 says cross fingers you get in contact with Dan Waters. He is local in New York City. Listen to the show on Saturday. Wow.
MX Mothman, Hayden's paneling is spoiling me for real. You know what? Agreed.
There is only one other artist that I can think of that does things with panels that I just go, oh my God. And that is J.H. Williams III.
Oh, okay.
You've read
I've read some.
Fables?
Yes, I've read Fables. Yeah.
Or is he Fables?
Oh
No.
no, hold on.
He's Batwoman for sure. Batwoman and Echo, I think it was called Echo.
Echolands. Yes.
Yeah. Batwoman.
He's done other stuff that I know I've read for sure. Well, at any rate,
James Williams is in Fables.
No, Alan Moore's Promethea.
Yeah. J.H. Williams is one of the greatest artists of all time, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah.
Seven Soldiers of Victory. That's the one. Grant Morrison.
Yeah. Absolutely. Entertain Me says Sean telling someone to spend big bucks when he wants us to get him to save money. Yeah, but here's the thing. I believe in spending money on things that are really good. And this is really good. This is where you splurge. You don't splurge for the hardcover deluxe edition of Blood Hunt. Okay.
You're telling me you didn't pre-order the hardcover for One World Under Doom?
Uh no, the fuck I didn't, Marco. And that's a great segue into our next book, One World Under Doom, number 7. This is written by Ryan North with art by R.B. Silva, colors by David Curiel, and letters by Travis Lanham. Now, the last issue of One World Under Doom featured Doom and Reed Richards in Debate Club. Then Doom crashed out and lost his shit on national television, leading to this issue, which is called Doom versus Everyone. And the book begins with it begins right after the day after the broadcast, and it's giving us different perspectives from people on Doctor Doom and on the conversation that he had with Reed. And immediately I was annoyed with this comic. Immediately, because there's no redeeming Doom. Like, I guess I get why someone might be willing to like look past. I actually don't get it, if I'm being truthful. I don't understand why someone would look past his villainy at all.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, he's giving the people what they want, so fine. But now that you know for a fact that he's a piece of shit, still, how do you justify it on any level? And to me, it only gets worse. But the recap is now they have, and by they I mean the heroes have assembled the world's greatest heroes ever, including MODOK, Juggernaut, Squirrel Girl, and others. And I must
the heavy
say,
hitters.
yeah, the heaviest of hitters. I must say, and no disrespect intended on a personal level to RB Silva or David Curiel, who I have enjoyed a lot of their work. Of all the double page splashes I have ever seen that was supposed to be a hero shot, this is probably my least favorite. And I'll show you guys why. I'll show you what I'm talking
Is it Ben?
about. Look at them. They're flat,
Yeah.
they're lifeless, they're awkwardly posed. Like that, like none of them look interesting. Like, whose book would you want to buy? Is it Juggernaut with the ridiculous teeth? Do you really want to follow his comic book? Or Spider-Man sitting there like a bump on a log, bored to death? That's how I felt reading this comic book.
Where's he even sitting?
You know what he's sitting on? Digital nothing. Because that's not a background, that's anything. There are people standing on nothingness back there. What is Black Panther standing on? He's in the deep background, but what is he on?
Where?
There's nothing there.
Oh,
and you don't get to go ahead.
I was gonna say where?
In the deep back behind Thing.
Okay.
There's nothing back there.
Yeah.
And he's clearly not standing on the same thing that Spider-Man is sitting on.
Yep.
So what am I looking at?
Yeah. This book was a little janky. The moment where, and I've just pulled it up here because it's the previous page there, where Susan's saying, unfortunately Tony's right, Doom claimed he wanted to help the world, but the truth is he only ever sought glory. Like, she kind of goes on this like mini monologue and trying to say something about power and, you know, how we have to be able to now like reclaim that back and deny his glory. It's like, what are we doing? Like, there was no glory. He destroyed his people so he can get some power. What?
Yeah, it's just so ham-fisted and lame. And I there's been a lot of defense of this book on this show. None of it by me. But to me, this comic feels indefensible. It feels like everything bad about this book came together to give us the worst of it. Look at Cyclops, Exhibit B.
Oh, that thing?
What is happening here? There are pieces of his visor that are clearly not shooting optic blast. In fact, I would argue the optic blast is coming from his forehead.
Yeah.
Who is he? Sinister?
I noticed
Where
that
is
too.
that coming from?
Rasterized that layer too early.
Meanwhile, here's Exhibit C. This face.
Oh yeah.
This is Valeria Richards. Why is she making the O face?
Oh,
She's doing that, by the way, because she's watching Doom fight the heroes.
right.
That's what she's standing there doing, looking like that.
What? How did you feel about the Scientist Supreme?
Uh, I need a doctor. I don't know about a scientist. I need a doctor to help me with the pain I'm in over that entire piece of this story. Dreadfully awful. Dreadful.
It's so cheesy. It,
It's so. Go ahead.
I was. It's so cheesy. I almost liked it.
Like I could get with Scientist Supreme on some level. It's not the worst thing I've ever heard of. My problem with it is that it comes out of nowhere.
Yes.
It just came out of the clear blue sky. Oh wow, we're just in the we're just out of nowhere in the astral plane. Okay, fine. And the thing that bothered me so much, and people who listen to the show will know, the first thing that Reed Richards thinks to do with the power of science and magic combined is to give himself superheated Wolverine claws. What the fuck is Ryan North's obsession with Wolverine claws? Why would that be the first thing you would do? You could do anything you want to do. You give yourself superheated Wolverine claws.
Flame on, Victor. Flame on, dude.
Terrible. Terrible.
I was wondering. I'm like, oh, how does this relate back? Did I miss something? Did I miss an issue of Fantastic Four that we were supposed to have read to like have learned that he can do this now? He can tap into the science force. Um, and his little nucleus on his chest kind of just like
Yeah.
floats everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, weird.
If I had never read a book written by Ryan North before, this would make me not want to ever again.
It it's not strong work. I think it's you can kind of see where it's going from the start, and I think in the context of the full story, to your earlier point, like we're out here defending Doom when he's been doing all these villainous things. We never got to a point where I think Ryan got to say something interesting with the character. There was so much potential for it, and I really wanted to feel like change had happened so that there's a point of tension. But it's just continues. It continues to get revealed that no, it's the same old Doom. You know, he's pulling a fast one on us. But those parts aren't the interesting things about these superheroes. It's the inversion of those dynamics, and we're not getting that.
Right. This event has done damage to these characters to me
Mm,
in the sense that the Avengers come across really badly. I am so doomed out. Like I just don't care about this character anymore. Between this and all the Doom we've been getting, I mean, the next book we're going to talk about has Doom in it, but that's a much better version of Doom. I just can't. And I will never be able to look at RB Silva the same way.
yeah, a lot of misses on this, which I'm surprised.
Yeah, this can't end soon enough. And the fact that the end of this issue, granted, it could always be a fake out. We never know. But the end of this issue is Doom just beating Reed. Like, what? Reed gets all this power. It just gets beat. Doom's just better than him. Doom's just, superior.
Are they not still on the astral plane? I thought that he was like mind melting him or something.
They are on the astral plane, but it appears that he was psychically defeated.
Right.
So yeah.
Yo, and the astral plane is truly empty
Matter of fact, though, I kind of think they end up back.
in reality, right? Like,
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. They end up back in reality, and that's where he obliterates Reed.
mm,
So again, unless it's a fake out, which it probably is, Reed is fucked.
we got a whole other
Um,
book to star
right.
in.
Yeah. So we know they're gonna undo that. It's just there's just nothing here for me.
Yeah,
And so if you're enjoying this, I'm happy for you, I guess, but there is nothing here for me. The sooner this ends, the better. And I regret the investment 100%.
yeah, pass.
Oh my God, pass. Pass. I would rather read Hush too. 100%.
That's a threat.
Yeah. Yeah. Didn't buy or read is 42% of you.
Wow.
42% of you. 33% of you said pass. 24% said pull. Nobody, no one chose pick of the week. So you
Yikes.
guys have some sense.
Yikes. They're finally getting it. I feel like for the longest time we were seeing polls and pick of the weeks, but all right. People are dropping the book.
Yeah, man. There's just nothing here. It's just there's nothingness. Like what like I just wish someone would tell me like what have we learned? Like if you are a defender of this, what have we learned? What has changed? What has evolved? What's better about Marvel? This is Drek.
It's
It's just
unfortunate.
yeah. My expectations for an event is that shit happens, and there's meaning.
Yeah, it's exactly what I was gonna say. Meaningful shit happens.
Yeah. Entertain Me says Sean Hush 2 needs to be canceled. Listen, bro. I am not sure we will see the end of that book. So maybe it will be canceled. But as long as there's a chance we can get Jim Lee art, interior art in a comic, I will show up. I don't care how bad that story is. Because you know what? It sure does look better than the book we just talked about.
Yikes! Yeah, yeah. They're not gonna finish it. I don't think so.
Yep. See, Lucas, this is the problem. This is the problem that we have. And think about all the money you could be saving. You wouldn't have to cancel your Patreon subscription if you would cancel your subscription to One World Under Fucking Doom. This shit is $5. $5.
Hefty.
Unreal.
Some chicky nugs.
Right? Get that $5 foot long.
Hey.
Feed yourself. Clayton Bergstrom, every time Doom is losing and ends up winning, it's written as if Doom just remembers he can just out ego his opponent, and he literally does each issue. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
It's like my aura is greater than yours. You lose.
And there's no beating that because it's not for story reasons. Or sorry, because it's only for story reasons, not because it's meaningful change.
Right. And it's the same old song and dance. Doom is generally portrayed like that,
Yeah.
but it's never felt this fan fictiony to me.
Mm.
Like Secret Wars from 2015 is not about it's not about Doom's power. It's actually about his fragility. Secret Wars is all about Doom's fragility. And if this feels like it's trying to do something like that, but without recognizing that the hitch on that was that Jonathan Hickman was trying to show us that being all powerful does not have anything to do with being all good, all confident. Doom has no real true confidence. And Hickman understood that.
Yeah. Being all powerful it doesn't help you escape the inevitable.
Exactly. Exactly. Let's get into the second book featuring Doctor Doom this week. That is Captain America #3. Chip Zdarsky on the words, Valerio Schiti on the art, colors by Frank Martin, letters by Joe Carabagna. So we've got two timelines that we're living in. One is an Iraq war era where or Afghanistan Iraq war with the new Captain America, who is the only Captain America of this particular era.
Hmm.
And then we have the 2010-ish when Steve Rogers has been brought back from the ice. Now he's on a mission alongside this new Captain America, and he has his first encounter with Doctor Doom. This is a very heavy issue. There is a lot going on here. Uh, Easily my pick of the week.
Yeah, agreed, 100%.
Yeah, I figured it had to be.
Yeah. Uh, what was your big takeaway with this?
So I really, really, really love stories about characters who have um, PTSD, trauma, things like that. And watching this Captain America, the new Cap, I keep forgetting his name, but watching his journey and his story unfold and the horror that he went through that made him into this new version of to who he is. Um, this book could be about just that, and I would be hook, line, and sinker. But it's not just that. It's also got Steve Rogers' first interaction with Doctor Doom, and that all of that was just written so brilliantly. This is how you show Doom's charisma. The way that he's able to talk to Captain America in a way that we know it didn't work, but you could almost feel like maybe Captain America was believing his bullshit about how he hated the Red Skull, which we know is true, but he uses the kernel of that reality to spin a tale that presents Doom as uh an altruistic person. Yeah, I'm a dictator, but I'm doing things for the greater good. I
Yeah.
admire America in a lot of ways. There's a lot of things about them that I enjoy, blah, 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 blah. Great stuff. And meanwhile, he actually had another plan altogether. So Doom won, but it feels right.
He these are those situations where Doom is showing that, oh, maybe he can make sense. Maybe there's a rationale and reason, and he isn't just an autocrat. Um, the Where he takes him, around, and he's showing him to the people. He's like, "What? Your life is better now, isn't it?" And that's because of Doom, right? Like that's the kind of reaction that it's again based in reality. But yeah, her life is better, but there's a cost. There's a cost benefit to all of those situations, and that's really the concern. Is are
Yeah.
you concerned with the fact that, well, your freedom's been taken away, your freedom to do other, and the other was bad, but is the choice not the better decision, even if it leads to potentially bad situations? I thought it was really interesting. That whole conversation, and and of course, that he's gonna have something up his sleeve, and he's gonna end up being, truly the dictator that he is. And he says that uh, just in the moment before they raid where the hostages are. He's like, "Let me show you what a real dictator's like." Right, and then they go into the hostages, and then happens the moment with the what is it, with the citizens. Great
Dude.
pacing.
Yes, absolutely, man. Like, and you know what else? The other thing too, in in One World Under Doom, Doom has all the power. I don't feel anything about him. In this, he's not anywhere near as powerful, but he's scarier. Because when he faces off with Steve, I was like, oh, Steve's fucked. Like there's nothing you can do against Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of Doom I want. He doesn't need all the power to be scary. He just has to talk his shit and do what he already does. And that wasn't even really him. That was a Doom bot. But I was scared to death for Steve Rogers.
you don't need to make him and villains in general so bombastic. They don't have to be all encompassing, world ending. I think this is where, and for a story like Captain America, it really succeeds at being a small, intimate story. Throwing the punch is as much of a not world ending, but as much of a threat as I'm gonna throw the sun at you, right?
Right.
Um, and I think what's really interesting is Colton here. He's he's unraveling in the past. You can see how he has unraveled in the past, and there was a question about that. Maybe like the first issue, like, oh, he got potentially pulled out, but now he's back in, and now he's leading kind of this task force, and it was giving me, oh my god, Tom King, Mitch Gerrard's,
Strange Adventures.
no, the War Book.
Oh, Omega Man? No, no. I know exactly what you're talking about.
God, it's
Damn it.
it's
Yeah.
slipping, but it's reminding me
Sheriff
of,
of Babylon.
yes. Oh my god, yeah, and that's exactly the same kind of era, right? Like I think there's so much there that it's about the intensity of that situation. It's about the moral ambiguity of that situation. Of yes, we're America as the superpower, but we're coming in to do good in the same way that you hear they're coming to do good, but realistically, and this was Doom's position. Are you not just the superpower that's coming in to superpower superhero that's just coming in
Right.
and dictating, actually, this is what I think freedom is. So therefore you should follow my freedom.
And and that's exactly what America was doing in Iraq. That, you know, American imperialism and, trying to spread democracy and spread our version of what's best for the world, we've seen the backlash to that kind of behavior and rhetoric. So it's interesting that Doom is using that very argument against Captain America,
Yeah.
who ostensibly represents the country that does that the most.
Yep. Yep. And Steve represents the idealism of it, whereas Colton is the like on boots on the ground reality of it. And I love that dichotomy.
And boots on the ground reality, they're both boots on the ground, but of very different wars.
Yes.
Very different wars that people think about very differently.
Hmm.
And look at what happens to Colton. Look at what he witnesses. Um he witnesses a child being murdered, a child whose life he tried to save. And that murder, the murderer is one of his own soldiers. That destroys him, but that would destroy any person. He's broken, but he didn't go to war broken. And this issue does that. It shows you that so well. The letters he was getting and exchanging with his mother, and he couldn't respond anymore because he says it was such pitch
Oh,
perfect dialogue. No one can tell me Chip Zdarsky doesn't belong at Marvel. This guy just gets it in a way at Marvel where none of the dialogue he did on that damn Batman hit the same. And I'm trying to find this line because it was just so brilliant.
I know what you're talking about.
Um, yeah, he says uh, that basically that she's writing a version of him that is already dead.
From a ghost, right? That one. Am I
Uh,
am my mom waiting for a letter from a ghost?
what? Yeah, is that earlier on in the book?
No, the earlier one
Here
is
it is.
it
Here it
felt.
is.
Oh, you got it.
It
Go.
felt like she was writing to a different son,
Yeah,
someone I used to know,
yeah.
someone I'd miss if I felt anything anymore. Yo.
So good. Chills, dude. I was like, oh shit, hell yeah.
And I tried to put myself in that spot, and I was like, how, like I've been away from home, for like, a couple of weeks, right? And you miss your friends, you miss, your family, whoever you left behind. But that's just a couple of weeks. And you're probably doing something that's not that terrible. This guy's at war. He's
Mm.
watching people die. He's watching his own friends die. He's living a different life. A 12-month tour is a year of your life where you don't see your family, you don't see your friends, all you see is death. And he tried to retain the innocence that still lived in him by saving this child, the humanity that still lived in him by saving this child. And he did it. And then another one of his soldiers undoes what he did. That's soul killing.
And it's that mentality of it's us or them. It's just the perpetuation of that violence.
Yeah. This is just crazy good. Chip Zdarsky writing one of the best scripts he's ever written, but then also no slouch Valerio Schiti handling both the past and present timeline material and making that look tremendous.
Yeah, that haziness that gets put over is really really cool. Like a little
Yeah.
bit of a sepia, to make the distinction between past and present. Like I feel like we were confused about it in the first issue, but now we've settled in. Now we know it's a tool, and so it's that much more effective now that we've been grounded in it.
Yeah. I am very happy with this book so far. Um I don't think I could be more happy with it, in fact. The first issue I had problems with trying to adjust to the timeline issues, but now that I'm past that, I'm enjoying the ride fully,
Yeah,
thoroughly.
yeah. This is an incredible series start. I'm super excited to see what more Chip has to say. What else Sheedy's gonna be doing. The last panel or the last page rather, I kind of just sat with the the way that everything is kind of like positioned and what felt like the metaphor, like the top being red and blood on the shield, the violence of it. But it seems like Colton's living this nightmare where at the bottom it feels like he's Steve there is like almost dreaming. He's unconscious, but it's a bit more peaceful, and that's almost a reflection of who he is. He is peaceful. He looks for compromise, and that's ideally the position that the U.S. in war should be taking, and that's what he embodied. In contrast, back again to Colton, there's a body there. In both situations, there's a body, but then there's also the mannequin.
Right. And I like the fact that it's not yet telling us that one Cap is a better person than the other. It's expressing a dichotomy between the era that they served in, not who they are as humans. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
But we were remiss to not mention it's a very small beat, but it's Cap reflecting on Bucky when he sees the shrine that Doom has,
Mm.
and he says to himself, "What would you do now in the face of all this? You would kill him, wouldn't you? Stop this madness from spreading across Europe. Maybe you should have been the one to wake up here." I love that.
Mm.
I love that because you know what? And this only works in a post Winter Soldier world. But you know what? In this world, post 9/11, Winter Soldier is more suited. Bucky is more suited for this than Steve is
Mm.
because this is a dark world. We need Steve more, but Bucky is more suited because he was a killer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tremendous stuff.
Oh, right. That's right. Because in this world, yes, they like try to cover it up and make it more fluffy and palatable. That's right. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
God, damn, this is a good book, man.
Yeah, man. Love it. Love it. Pick of the week.
Yep. Pick of the week.
Let's
Easy.
see how the audience chose to vote. 44% pull, 28% didn't buy or read, 18% pick of the week, 7% pass. Okay. Well, I hope that our glowing review gets more people to choose to pick this up because I do think it's worth your time. I know a lot of people are sour on um, Chip after Batman, but honestly, truthfully, there is nothing I've read from Chip at Marvel that I didn't think was good. And this might end up being the best of it all.
Yeah.
So give him a chance.
100%. It's a fresh start, fresh take. Go for it.
Yeah. Cole says David Colton is falling flat for me. Feels like I've seen these tropes before. Hope there's a twist to keep me on board. Otherwise, I'm jumping off.
Mm. We're building
Okay.
to it. We're building to it. I think there's I it feels like it's leaning towards the he's gonna snap kind of thing and go rogue, which I think can work. That's fine. And then you have a battle of maybe like metaphorically ideals, which is good. But let's see, because I trust Chip here to do something a little more interesting than that.
In Chip I Trust.
Yes.
Now, again, it didn't take me long, but yeah. Barlord says this book is the chaser we need.
I like that concept. We need a nice palate cleanser.
Oh, I wish we could talk about Captain America again instead of the next book.
Uh-oh.
Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion, number 4. This is unfortunately written by Dennis Camp and Cody Ziegler with art by Jonah Sharf, colors by Eric Arciniega, and letters by Corey Pettit. I want to say before we start that I have enjoyed multiple things by every single person whose name I just said. And I think they are all great creators. I also will say that this is probably my favorite issue of this series so far.
Oh. Huh.
However, this is bad.
Okay.
Uh, so Maystorm and Miles are in Russia together, and they are trying to find Miles' sister still 4 months later or whatever it is. Yeah, 4 months later.
Yep.
I would have had a mental breakdown by now. I wouldn't walk around the cold of Russia just trying to find a random baby. But they do it. And the reason they're able to interact with each other is because they have apps that allow them to speak to each other. Fine. The
Technology.
part of this, yeah, yeah. The part of this that I liked, there was two things I liked. One, Magic is just a bloody murderer, and I thought that was awesome. But the second thing I like is the conversation between Miles and Anansi.
Okay.
Anansi is a big part of the current Miles run in Mainline, written by Cody Ziegler, and so he's kind of like Miles's spirit, god guardian, if you will. And it involves the totems and all that kind of stuff. But Anansi comes to Miles in this low moment of his life, and he says, "Look, man, I can't help you, but I can tell you that this story of yours is far from over, and I'm on your side, um, and you will be okay. Pain is a lesson." And so Miles bucks up, and he and Maystorm go and fight Magic. Everything else about this I despised.
I'm glad you shared context into Anansi. I'm only familiar in like the mythology of it. Was it Weaver stories and dreams? So I kind of assumed, oh, this is like a spirit guardian kind of situation. Okay, cool. But there isn't as big a connection. So I found myself kind of glazing over a little bit in this moment. And then I'm like, okay, that was a thing. I get that he's, has to work his way through it. But because of that, it felt like wasted pages to me. I'm like, oh, we could be getting to the story here. And instead, Miles is kind of learning to cope with this situation, an odd situation to begin with. I did like the art there, the way that he kind of uh, bleeds into this spatial expanse and background. That was really cool. So the visuals there were neat. He looks cool, but it didn't connect with me. Agreed on Magic here being crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I the fight between them and Magic was, man. Listen, we use everything you see Magic do in this issue is kill people. That's the only thing she's doing is killing. And they are telling you throughout the entire issue that with a sword, Magic is a death dealer. So why is it that when she slices Miles, all he says is, "What the heck kind of sword is that? It cut through my suit like it was nothing. It should cut through your body like it's nothing."
Gah!
What?
Yeah.
If it got your suit, it got you.
Exactly. Yeah. I thought for a second, I'm like, oh, okay, he must have like an arbor situation underneath that or whatever. Because then he's fine. He's just kind of down, but he's still doing stuff.
But my problem with that, bro, is that we see her slice the head off of. I mean, I don't think it's a robot, but like, what is that? Look at this.
Yeah, as a
She
person.
slices the head off something that looked like heavier duty armor than what Miles is wearing. There's
Wow.
no way he gets sliced and doesn't die, or at
Yeah.
least bleed out.
She cuts multiple people in half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Merely
And
a
then
flesh wound.
they just start posing like Power Rangers, and for some reason they're able to beat Magic because of that.
Yeah, I thought that was super cheesy. It's like, oh, here, a Japanese thing. Let's do that. Pose. Yeah.
Ooh.
And then Magic's not going for the kill in any of those moments where she has an opportunity. She just bonks him on the head.
Yeah, man.
And then we're back in the situation. Okay, baby gets taken again. Let's keep going on that. We already know what to expect with that. So it feels like the last, what is this, 2 pages? I guess the last 3 are kind of a waste. But then we get to see the big orb. The what is it?
Yeah,
The
the
city.
dome. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That was cool.
I guess. I mean, I already know what it looks like. It's a dome. If read any other Jonathan Hickman book, there's always a dome. It always looks the same. I uh I am struggling mightily to understand why this book exists. And the last issue is going to have to justify that.
It feels like it was meant to take us as in like a fun tour of the Ultimate Universe, which, okay, I can see that, but it's so convoluted in it has to abide by the month situation instead of just kind of, hey, here, this issue we're here, this issue we're here, this issue we're here, and we're in such a hurry because this is my sibling. I need to take care of. I need to just be the brother and take care.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The biggest of passes. This
Yeah.
like I think Dennis Camp and Cody Ziegler are, this was something they had to write. I do not believe that they cooked this up themselves. And I think both of them are much more talented than this book would lead you to believe.
Hmm.
Jonas Scharf, though, I'm disappointed in his artwork here, and it's making me concerned about Ultimate Endgame. I don't think this book looks great.
This feels like maybe a quick turnaround. I'm hoping compared to what the other stuff is because I agree with you. There's a lot of moments where actually, if you could pull up the page right before they do both kick Magic. There's the page where they're like tugging on the spider webs. Uh, yeah, yeah, that bottom panel. His back is massive.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like the angle's off. Uh, the positioning there is weird.
His
Uh,
neck looks broken.
yeah. Like there's a lot going on in this issue. And that's not the only instance, but won't belabor the point. Where the art just seems like, all right, we're quick, and then we splash some inks on it to kind of get the pass on stuff.
Yeah, I believe Jonas Sharp is capable of a lot more than this. So I'm hoping we can just chalk it up to what Marco said there about it just being a quick turnaround. There are almost no backgrounds in this book. When they get to fighting, there's just no backgrounds.
Yeah.
And that's a pet peeve. It can be a stylistic choice that works, and I've seen it done very well. For me here, it feels more like time saving.
Yes.
Um, I I haven't enjoyed much of this, and I am excited for this to end. Pass, mega
Yeah.
pass.
Yes.
Looks like the audience is smarter than me. I'll just speak for myself because you guys didn't buy or read this. 44% of you did not pick this up. 33% of you said pass.
Yikes.
22% of you said pull. Nobody, no one said pick of the week.
Yikes. Not a good
Nor should
time.
you.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I don't know. You would have to explain yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Mm.
Joseph Wolf says it's hard to make a book fun when it's skipping months and every issue is searching for a toddler on their own.
Yep. Exactly.
It doesn't work. It has no heat. She's a toddler that's not his child, and we don't spend time with.
Mm-hmm.
So what do I like? She could be any baby. Just saying it's his sister doesn't make me care more. She could be any baby.
The danger is never really real because they don't do anything with her. They just keep her locked away in a place for a month.
Yeah.
In every situation, she's either been in a in a self-concealed kind of dome, or was it last issue she was in like a like an underground playpen.
Right.
So what are they doing?
Because that's interesting.
Right,
They're
they're not
doing nothing.
they're not testing on her. They're not experimenting. They're not she's just being handled until the plumber reaches the right castle.
Word. Exactly. Uh Common sense. If by any chance Jimmy Hudson gets his ultimate incursion, which writer would you want? I would pick Cullen Bunn. Benjamin Percy.
Oh, that's good. Oh, I like that. Yeah, go with that.
I think that could work. Yeah. Absolute overthinker. Hey, Sean, any chance we can start bringing on more DC books since Marvel is missing the plot? I mean, listen, bro. We do DC reviews constantly. We talk about DC books all the time. Um, Last week, if I remember correctly, was a DC heavy week.
The week prior was Ultimate Spider-Man, Mortal Thor, and then it was Absolute Martian Manhunter. What was
Wonder
it?
Woman.
Yeah, Wonder Woman, Immortal Legend, Superman. Yeah.
Yeah. This is just a week where there's just a heavier Marvel. They're putting out bigger books that we're interested in, but you guys know we love the DC books around these parts. Like what DC book did we miss? I guess we missed Green Lantern Corps. That's probably what we could have swapped in.
Children of the Round Table.
Oh God.
I
Nah, I mean that could be good. I actually have no idea.
haven't read it yet.
And I don't feel pressured. Absolute overthinker. That's fine. All right. Let's get into the last book, but not the least book.
Hmm.
You guys voted and you wanted us to talk about the finale of Daniel Warren Johnson's time and George Corona's time on Transformers with issue 24. So we will do that. Before we start, there is a poll up right now. It goes up every Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern. It's got 4 books on it, as ever. Voyeur #1, which is a new Leah Williams, David Baldion, Ignition Press book. I'm very excited for it. Street Sharks #1, Absolute Flash #7. It says Green Lantern. I fucked up. I'm sorry. That's supposed to be Flash. I will do better. I just messed up. and Amazing Spider-Man number 12. Absolute Flash number 7 is winning, probably because it says Green Lantern. But what are you gonna do?
We got to remind people. We got to put a post up there.
Yeah, it's been discussed in
Yeah,
the
the
comment
thread.
section.
Yeah, yeah.
So make sure you guys get your votes out there. And again, it is Flash, not Green Lantern. Sorry about that.
Please don't make us read Flash.
I actually completely dropped it. So um, I would love to not have to read that. Chris Coleman says, "You guys have confirmed I am losing at comics. I bought and didn't read this and One World Under Doom and skipped Cap and Dark Patterns. Fail. Ooh. Oh, Chris, what happened there? Come on now. Let's talk of Transformers. So at the end of everything, it's Megatron versus Optimus Prime in a knockdown, drag out fight that doesn't get gory because these are robots, but if it like for them being robots, it gets as gruesome as it really can get. Obviously, there's no blood, but there's a lot of pain.
Yeah.
A lot of pain, a lot of broken bodies, massive fight. This is a great issue of Transformers. I think that this is everything you want it to be. It's not just a fight. There is emotion and there is heart here. Watching Optimus Prime stand up for two worlds. He's fighting a battle that the Primes and the Autobots and the Decepticons have been fighting for a very long time. The new element is the human element, and Optimus Prime is fighting and going hard for humanity, and I really appreciated that fact. Yeah, go ahead.
This was fun. This was a really good time. I've not been following the series, but I feel like anytime we poke in, there's a few situations, either story wise or art wise, that stand out. But what an opening page! Oh, just like the huge clank there.
Yeah.
And then I it was a moment as well where I felt like Corona really got to shine. Danny Warren Johnson started off this run, but I think it feels like Jorge Corona's really fit the mold and has carried that sort of spiritual successor of the art style through. And this was exactly the moments where I felt it the most. That boom, the whack croc right afterwards, dude. The page where that's only the third page. Optimus is running, and you hear the. I'm like, oh hell yeah, dude! So much cool.
Dude, he turned into a truck to bash
Yeah,
Megatron in. That was insane. Like he ran at him and just turned into a truck and rammed him. And then he did a body splash onto Megatron. Like, what is this? It's
so
insane.
cool. Um, and there were some beats that I felt like I wasn't following on, only because there's obviously past moments here. There's things that I just haven't been aware of, but I didn't feel lost in the narrative of it. Once we started getting more Transformers in there, I started to lose a little bit of my sense. I still, and Sean, I think you've mentioned this in the past. I still lose who is which Transformer or Autobot or Decepticon, and so there were moments there I was like, who was this again? Who are they talking to? Okay, thank you for saying their name because I wouldn't have known otherwise. But then I also don't know some of them, so the moment is diminished a bit.
Sure. Yeah. I've railed against this book for that since the very early days, and I still have problems with it. I do kind of think that's a Transformers thing because even with the movies, there were the only ones I could definitely tell you who they were Bumblebee because he's yellow, Optimus Prime, and Starscream and Megatron. That's it.
Yeah.
Everybody else, I don't know. And them not having voices hurts it all the more.
Yes.
Um, but I think the moments and the beats land really well. Like Starscream when he's holding Megatron, because Megatron's a gun. That's his that's what he transforms into.
I figured I had to make that connection because I'm like, wait, why is there a text box all of a sudden coming out of this?
Yep. And then this massive transformer flies over them, which I actually was very confused by. I didn't understand what I was looking at. And I
Okay.
actually had to go back on that a few times. But for some reason, that happening caused Starscream to be like, nah, I'm not going to do that. And then he just gets smoked. And then Megatron gets smoked. Like that dude, I forget, I think his name is Beachcomber. When he comes through and he says Cliff Jumper said hello to Carly, that is a payoff from an earlier issue.
Hmm.
And that was a badass moment. I can't remember that character's name because there's a Transformer and I can't remember them, but I know who he is, and that was a cool moment. That felt earned.
The sword moment, right? The big slice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that
that
was
was
fire.
rad. Wait, uh, so the big transformer, you don't know what that was about?
I think he I don't no, I don't. I think he might be a transport. I don't remember who that is.
Hmm.
And maybe chat can help. I'm sure I should know, but I don't know who the hell that is. Oh, okay, Shredhead. Shredhead was who was the purple guy. My mistake. Not Cliff Jumper, Shredhead. He's the new
Gotcha.
Transformer.
And then Tilo says the big transformer was introduced in a Starscream flashback.
Okay, okay, right, right. I did read those issues. My apologies for not remembering that. But yes, absolutely.
Interesting. Okay. Um, yeah, and to have the effect of making him like unadopt the name, you know, and like, oh, it's Ulktar. Like, oh, interesting. Okay, I learned some
And
lore.
those were good issues, the Starscream origin issues. So they paid that off really well with this. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Um, I thought this was a really strong way to close out this series. I will say I am very ready for Kirkman and David
Mora.
Moore to jump on. More so just because I feel like his style is going to lend itself to me being able to tell these people apart, these robots apart, and be able to like understand what I'm looking at visually all the time,
Mm, yeah,
which is the biggest problem I have with this book.
I feel like Kirkman will also bring a different kind of flavor. Like Daniel Warren Johnson is an incredible writer. Don't get me wrong. But now that he's told his story, I'm also ready for maybe a different pace, a different kind of story beat we might get. It kind of felt like it was circling the drain for a while in that it was the same kind of situation. I have to really save Earth, and we have to do it. We can't also sacrifice what's been going on in the larger war here. So I'm hoping for maybe something different, unless of course that's just Transformers, and you got to kind of be into that. But fingers crossed.
Yeah, it leaves it in a place where you could easily deviate from the traditional Transformers Autobots versus Decepticon story. I highly doubt they'll do that because that is what Transformers is about. But there is a way to, use different characters and kind of switch things up. I actually thought in the last issue, which obviously we're not reviewing here, but I thought that Optimus might die and that someone new would become Prime.
Ah,
And I thought that would be a very interesting thing to do, but that's obviously not what they went with.
how many times has he been put to the brink of death? And I'm like, oh, all right, well, he's cooked, and he's makes his way back.
In this series alone, I would probably say about 4 or 5 times.
That's wild to me. That was wild when they drop him onto those big spires, and he's
Oh
just like
man.
uh, uh, destroyed, but then somehow finds his way back, and then is just like sitting down. He's like, "Don't worry, I still got a little bit of spark left, bro." What?
Mhm. Yeah, dude. Great stuff. Great stuff. Pull. I think this, I say pull on this individual issue. Um, Overall, on the run itself, I think it was a success. I did not love it all. There were
Mm.
parts in the middle that I started to really fall off this book in terms of my enjoyment, but I read it all, and I think it started strong and it ended strong, which are the most important things. So
The-
I will remember this fondly because of that.
Yeah, that's the best thing you can probably say about the a book in that situation is it started off strong, so you get can kind of really dig deep if you start to enjoy it, and then it ends strong, which means it's going to set up the next team to do good as well, right? Because you don't want to have it end on a low and then it feels like they have to do cleanup. Here it's more so okay, where that's ended, we can tell our chapter now.
Yeah, yeah,
Matt Fisher with the 199 said that is Omega Supreme, big guy.
right. Yeah, I couldn't remember anything about that fucking guy. Um, 46% say pull. Didn't buy or read is 35%. Pick of the week is 15. Pass is 2%. Okay,
Nice. Oh yeah, strong.
decent. Yeah, decent. By the way, Matt Fisher, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you, buddy. I saw you last night on TNT. I saw you. I got my eyes on you, Matt. You know what I mean.
You were there.
Um, does Kirkman coming on mean we are getting the Void Rivals crossover now? Asks Chris Coleman. Um, I have to imagine that we are gearing up to get into that space because bringing Robert Kirkman on, Robert doesn't need to do Transformers. Like if you're going to bring him on, now's the time where we're going to be getting into Void Rivals crossover, but also importantly, very importantly, more GI Joe crossover. It's all there. Each book is doing it to some degree. Transformers the least, but now we really need to see the intersection between these series.
The I need to catch up on that because I know that that's been real good stuff. And if this is what this is all leading up to, then I'm super interested because I feel like I liked the issues that we read, and that was so long ago, but well worth I think going back to.
Yeah, yeah.
Jason
Cole says this.
Garza. Oh, sorry. Jason Garza says, just wanted to say that liking my comment and answering back about what happened to side characters made my day. Thank you guys. Thank you for commenting.
You're welcome, Jason. One of the things I enjoy doing is getting to talk to you guys. Someone entertained me asked earlier, would I end up what would I end up like a month without you guys? I don't even go a day without talking to you guys. You guys are a big part of my life. So responding to your comments, I mean, you don't need to thank me for answering. I thank you for commenting and validating what we're doing over here. So thank you so much. Matt Bird says, Sean, you know that. Okay. Yeah, we know, dude. We're not going to talk about that today. Um, cool. So we got through the reviews. Thank you guys so much for being an amazing audience. We are not done. We are not done with the show. Um, we've got some numbers to get into. We've got the stack to get into. Now, before share your numbers, I definitely want you to share them from now. But Marco, I wanted to ask you because we talked a little bit about Hollow Knight Silk Song last week. I just wanted to know if you'd had the chance to play and what you thought.
No, I haven't. Yeah,
Oh man,
I haven't
that
sat down.
sucks.
Yeah, I'm hoping for can't even this weekend. I don't know. I don't know when I get to it. Honestly, I've deprioritized games for a bit, like even like Smash. I'm just not on it the same way. There's been a lot going on. Matt Fisher. Who?
His 199 super chat just says who? You were on TNT. I saw you. It wasn't last night. It was Tuesday. My bad. But I saw you.
You were there.
Yeah, come on now. Don't lie to me.
Uh, I will say what I have been doing is I've been reading a lot of comics. I finished the that Frankenstein Jiu collection. So I finished up the remaining stories that were there. Uh, it followed like this kid and this haunted house that he kind of lived in. Not his strongest work, in my opinion. But Frankenstein was crazy. That was sick. Disgusting. Ugh.
Mm,
Loved it.
disgusting. Ugh, loved it. Nice.
Yeah.
I love that description. Yeah, I haven't seen that oh, I mean, I guess I saw it was you, right? You were showing it off.
Yeah. On Saturday show with Dirk.
Mhm.
Oh, and I felt validated when Dirk was like, "Oh, yeah, that's the book." My guy knows. He's a horror writer. He knows.
Yeah, yeah, he's all the way tapped in. Patrick Zay asks Marco, "You a Smash bro?"
Yeah, bro. Catch me, yo. Catch these hands, bro.
I am also a Smash bro. Of the first Smash came out in what, 98, 99. I've been playing Smash Brothers consistently since then.
I only dropped. I never played 64. So Melee I started with. And then I never played 4. I went from Brawl into Ultimate.
Wow. Okay. Brawl's a weird one.
Yeah.
It's a good game, but it's a weird one.
Yep.
It's not even. I don't even know if it's a good game. We made it good. We made it work. But Hayden's Hideout wants to know who you made, Marco.
I feel like I co-main Pac-Man and Duck Hunt.
Marco and I have actually played Smash Brothers together. Maybe we should stream that again one day.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
Because when we streamed it, you were but a learner.
Right. Yeah.
Now you have definitely risen to the level of you can play.
Yeah.
So that would very much be a challenge for me.
Now I feel like I'm like, oh, nice. I'm all right.
Yeah. You ever go to a tournament?
Only once at oh my god, Waypoint.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I made it out of pools. Yeah, right. I took notes. Got taught a thing or two.
If you're not winning, you're learning.
Exactly.
Absolute Overthinker says I'm all about that game and watch.
Nice. Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah, maybe we could do a video game tournament type thing. I know not everybody's a gamer here, but we've got some gamers. We could do something.
yeah, dude. I'm you know what? I'll share my friend code in the Discord. You know,
Yeah.
we can all share 'em. Add some people on. Maybe we'll figure it out.
Entertain Me says, Sean, have you ever bought 35 to 40 comics at once? No, that would be crazy. Who do I look like to you, Atomic Hound?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Nintendo Direct tomorrow. I am so disconnected from those kinds of things at this point that like whatever they do is fine, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to watch it. They're never good anymore, I feel like.
I feel like there's not much to do, you know, within those, especially when it's just like, oh, here's all the indie games we're putting out. Sometimes those are interesting, but otherwise, you know, I'm here for my mainstays. Give me a Smash, you know, a Smash 5, Smash 6 update. Give me a another Metroid update. I'm hoping for we haven't got a new Prime yet, right?
Prime 4 is coming.
That's
Can't wait.
right. Yes, that's right.
I'm
I
hyped.
I'm excited for that shit. Dude,
Yeah.
Echoes is up there for me as one of my favorite games.
For me, Prime 1
Yeah.
was it. Uh CW Gordon hoping for Hollow Knight 3 at the Direct. You'll be getting Hollow Knight 3 around the 33rd of the 3000th year.
On February 30th.
Yep. Okay, let's get into the stack. So here we go. Aquaman, number 9. Powers 25, number 1. Read it
Hey.
already, had to buy it in physical to support. And because I wanted this awesome cover, I believe it's David Mack.
Oh, nice. Longtime collaborator.
Yeah. Murder Podcast, number 1. This is actually the first book from Ignition Press, which is a new publisher. It was pretty good. It's a little weird. It's kind of slice of lifey. It's about this podcast that is actually killing the people or turning the people who listen to it into killers. And it follows these women who are friends and podcast enjoyers who are going to be a little more connected to this podcast than they would ever want to really be.
Have you read Jeremy Hahn's work before?
I don't think so.
They did an image book back in the day that, Beauty, I think it was. Um, and then I know Jeremy Hahn because Cullen Bunn collaborated with him a long time ago on a thing called, I think it's Wolf Blood or Wolf Moon, one of my first introductions to horror comics. So Jeremy Hahn's a good name.
This was a good book. I enjoyed it. Uh, Birds of Prey 25. Blue Falcon and Dynamite #1.
Oh, gotta get that.
Yeah. Green Lantern Corps #8. Imperial Ward Nova Centurion #1. I was so excited. This was the book I was most excited for this week,
Oh no.
and I despised it.
Oh no.
It is purely a recap of what it means to be a Nova and the big reveal at the end of Imperial #3. That is all it does. It does nothing else. I am so disappointed. Jed McKay is not to be trusted, at least not by me. I won't make that same mistake again.
Yikes.
Blood and Thunder #5. Red Coat #14. Very excited to get into that one. First Ghost Prelude. Ultimate Wolverine #9. It Killed Everyone But Me #1. It's a Mad Cave book. I'm really excited to read this. Ryan Perot on that. And it's going to be a controversial one.
Uh-oh.
The Punisher.
Oh no, you
Red
did it.
Band
Oh, you
#1.
didn't.
Listen, before anybody comes for my neck, I said on Pal's previews, let me know if you think it would be okay for me to get this. And there were comments to the affirmative. So I broke my word about not buying Red Band this year because commenters said it was okay and because this feels like a real book. And I was not willing to come here and not have read it because I don't want to catch shit. So I'm here to tell you I liked it a lot.
Okay.
I liked it a lot.
Is the gimmick worth the extra $1?
Well, this so it doesn't come in a normal way. It only comes this way.
Okay, okay.
That's that other if I didn't buy this, I wouldn't have been able to read it at all.
Right, okay.
So it was $4.99, which is just, standard Marvel price at this point.
Okay.
But there is a lot of nasty shit in this book.
Oh.
Tombstone is in it, and whoa, there is some nasty work. But I really, really liked it. Benjamin Percy just feels right for the Punisher. He gets it. And I've been missing Frank for a while, so I'm glad he's back.
Nice, okay. Hell yeah.
So good stuff. That's it.
The 18?
Yeah.
You know what? First guess of the night, Patrick Zay. Got it on the nose.
Woo. Good. Very nice.
Congrats. There you go.
Very nice. Reach out to me on Discord, buddy, if you want any of the codes for the Marvel books I got. And really, anyone can reach out if you guys want a code or you just want to talk. I am around. Yeah, James Jones, I violated it. And if Tyler were here, I know I'd be catching more shit. Marco, if you want to bestow some shit upon me, that's okay. I'll take my lumps. But I thought it was worthwhile in this case.
Nah, you're buying comics, man. You're supporting the industry. It's fine.
Okay. I appreciate that. I agree with Patrick Zay though. Red band, but they still censor the words. That's bullshit. There's
really?
some nasty business in this book that I cannot show you, but they shouldn't be censoring bad language.
Don't censor language.
It's dumb as you're gonna show me people getting their bodies chopped to pieces, but you're gonna censor the word fuck.
Yeah, dude. Words are violence.
Imagine if you went to a movie. Like what's a really gruesome movie? Imagine if you went to go see like Saw,
Okay.
right? And you're watching these disgusting things go down. But then someone says someone's about to die, right? They're gonna get chopped in half. And they go, "Oh my god. Beep."
Or they'll do the like an overdub. So saying like
Yeah.
fuck, they go frick.
Yeah. Frick you. But you
Yeah.
can see their mouth, they mouth, but they say frick.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're being vivisected on screen.
Can't do it, dude. It's just keep your strong language to yourself.
It's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
And I used to miss when they used to actually like use the special characters to try to spell out the word.
Yeah. They don't even do that.
They don't do that anymore. Oh, I miss that.
So annoying.
Bring it back. Back when comics were good.
Yeah, man. But this was a good book. I liked it. So if anybody's not sure about getting this,
Nice.
I think it's worth it. Unless you are squeamish, in which case, avoid it. All right. We're going to get out of here. We're going to free you. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. You have been a great crowd. Hit the like button on your way out. Don't forget to show up Saturday at 10:15 a.m. Eastern. Yes, we will talk about the Red Hood cancellation and the comic book implications of that,
Mm.
and what that could mean for the future. So tune in on Saturday to hear our thoughts. Until then, take care, guys.